Hello everyone, this is the second part of problem set 2. In the previous video we completed up to question number 14, and in this video our target is to complete at least up to question number 28. Okay, and in the next video we'll finish the remaining questions. So the questions in this problem set are pretty much similar to problem set 1. Okay, and for those who are new to this channel, I would suggest please watch the previous video first, in which I have explained up to question number 14, and then come back here. All right, now without any further ado, let's get started. So in question number 15, you are given a demand relation and you are asked to calculate the highest willingness to pay. So the highest willingness to pay is at Q equals to 0. Let me show it in the graph. So suppose this is your demand curve. So as you can see, if Q is on the x-axis, then at Q equals to 0, the willingness is highest. Okay. So we simply put Q equals to 0 and obtain the value of P, which in this case is 5.2, that is 260 divided by 50. Okay. Now for the second answer, it says egg cost $1 per cartoon. So when you put P equals to 1, you'll get the value for Q, that is 210. Okay, so this is the answer for this question. Let's move on to the next question. In question number 16, you are given the price for each bag of rice and the supply and demand relation, and you are asked to calculate the excess demand. So this is very easy. Let's go to the GeoGebra. And for those who are not familiar with this software, this is an open source software. You can download it and use it for absolutely free. Let me clear the screen. Okay, so the demand relation is x equals to 121 minus 11y, and supply is x equals to 35 plus 7y, and price is y equals to 0.82. So let's see, where is the curve? Let me change the aspect ratio. Okay, I think it looks nicer now. Let's see the intersection points. So this is supply curve. So this point gives you the quantity supplied, and this is the demand curve. So this point will give you the quantity demanded. So you can clearly see that the quantity demanded is higher than the quantity supplied. So there is excess of demand, and you can find it out by taking the difference between these 2 points. That is 111.98 minus 40.74, and this will be your answer. Okay, let's move on to the next question. You are given the two demand curves, okay, and a price, and you are asked to calculate the total quantity demanded. So in this case, you have to find out the market demand curve for both of these people, and then using this price you can find out the total quantity demanded. So let's do it in the graph. Okay, so the curve is x equals to 500 minus 1.7y, and then x equals to 1300 minus 0.2y, and price is, okay, so let's first see how can we draw the market demand curve. Okay, so these are the two demand curves. Now to draw the market demand curve, you need to know these points. Okay, so you have to sum the x coordinate of these 2 points. So let's sum it. X coordinate of A plus x coordinate of B, comma 0. Okay, now also you need to draw a horizontal line parallel to x-axis passing through a C, that is y equals to y coordinate of C. Okay, now you know this intersection and you can connect by a line segment, you know, this AD, ED. So line segment ED. Okay, so now this whole curve from here to D, ED, this whole is market demand curve. Okay, now when you put the price y equals to $50, you can find out the quantity demanded. So as you can see, this is your quantity demanded. So 1705 in this case. Okay, this is the quantity demanded. All right, now let's move on to the next question. In the next question, you are asked to calculate the consumer surplus, right? Okay, so you can see at the price $50, what is the consumer surplus in this market? So here the consumer surplus is basically the area under the market demand curve and the price. Okay, so we need to know this point as well, this point. So this is G and this point. Okay, this is H. So let's find out the area. This is area G H and this is F, right? Okay, so this is F and E. So as you can see, this is a very large number, but this is the consumer surplus. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. Okay, so in this question you are given a demand relation and you are asked to comment on X as well as the relationship between X and Y. So you can see that okay, so first we need to know what is inferior good and what is substitute and complement. Okay, so inferior good is when income increases, demand decreases. So as you can see, when you increase the income here, demand means quantity demanded. So when you increase the income, quantity decreases, right? That means X is an inferior good. So your options could be A or B. The correct option could be A or B. Now, what about the substitute and complement? So substitute is price of one good and the quantity of other goods should move in the same direction. That is, when you increase the PY, QY should also increase. When you decrease PY, QY should also decrease. So in this case, when PY increases, QX also increases because it is the positive sign. Okay, so X and Y are substitutes. So option B is the correct. X is an inferior and X and Y are substitutes. All right, now let's move on to the next question. Suppose you go to the local supermarket one afternoon and notice that there are changes in the price. There is a changes in the price. Price has decreased from last week to this week, and more shelf space indicates goods that are expected to have a higher quantity sold. Shelf space has increased. Okay, so if there is a single cause for the shift, it must be increase in supply. This is very obvious. Price has decreased, quantity has increased, and increase in the supply. Okay, let's move on to the next question. You are given a graph and the price of tea is $6 per kg and banana is $1 per kg, and the coordinates are also given in the graph. if they were to consume 10 kg of banana, they could consume, okay, tea. So in this question, you have to find out the revenue at, these 3 points, and then decide which point should be picked. Okay, so let's do it. Let me do it in the notepad. So at point A, what is the revenue? So at A, revenue is 17 times 1, right? Which is 17. At B, okay, so this is 8, 12. So 8 times 6 plus 12 times 1. This is simply 16. And at C, the revenue is 12 times 6. And this is 72. So you can see among all these 3 points, revenue at C is maximum. Okay, so you should choose point C, that is 12 kg of tea, right? Now you have to subtract the price for the 10 kg of banana, because you're going to consume 10 kg of banana. So you need to subtract this, minus 10 times 1, and this is 62. Now to obtain the amount of tea, you have to divide it by the price for tea, that is 6, and you will get it 10.33. Okay, so this is the amount of tea. This is your answer. Let's move on to the next question. You are given a demand relation, and the price elasticity at this quantity is, so this is very simple. Simply put the value of Q here, and you will get the value of P. So, and then you can apply the formula of price elasticity at a point. The formula is price elasticity at a point is equals to P divided by Q times 1 over slope. 1 over slope. Okay, so you have P, you have Q, and you have the slope from this equation. So you can obtain the price elasticity. I hope you can do it. Okay, let's do the next question. The corner gas station sells cigarettes facing a linear downward sloping demand curve. To maximize the revenue, the manager set the price equal to this and quantity this. But to discourage smoking, the government set a tax of $2 to be paid by the buyer. So the manager will reduce the quantity by something to maximize the revenue. So let's do it in the GeoGebra. Let me clear the file. So your point is, coordinate is 40, 22. And this should be the midpoint of demand curve. Why? Because at this point, the revenue is maximum. Okay, the question says to maximize the revenue, the manager set the price equal to this and quantity this. So this should be the midpoint of the demand curve. Okay, so let's see where is the point. Now you need one more point in order to draw the demand curve. So next point could be 80, 0, right? Since A is the midpoint, so B should be the double of the x coordinate of A, right? So let's draw the demand curve. Now you have to shift this line upward by $2 because the tax is $2. So let me change this equation in the intercept form so that I can simply add $2 in the equation and it will shift upward. So y equals to minus 0.55 x plus 44 plus 2. Okay, now the question says to maximize the revenue again. So in order to maximize, you have to find out the midpoint of the new demand curve. So let's find out the point first, intercept. So this is C and this is D. So midpoint of C comma D is E. So at this point, the revenue is maximum. Let me draw a vertical line passing through E. Okay. Initially, your quantity was here. Now here, your quantity is here. Okay. So you should decrease the quantity by, okay. So let's draw the line y equals to y coordinate of A. So the length of this line, this portion. All right. Let me find out the coordinate. Okay. Now what is the distance of this portion? You can see it is 1.82. So you should quantity should be reduced by 1.82, and this is the answer. Let's move on to the next question. Suppose there is only an initial shift of supply or demand, and we observe that the equilibrium price of computers decreases by 8.1% and equilibrium quantity decreases by 6.1%. We conclude that. So you can see the price has decreased and the quantity has decreased. So the change is in the same direction in both variables, right? In the price and quantity. So it should be supply curve. But when there is the change in price, the quantity has not changed that much, as the price has changes. Okay. So the price elasticity of supply is inelastic. So the option D is the correct option. Let's move on to the next question. Your boss Jeff wants to maximize revenue from sales. Okay, previously you sell 150 cards at price $1, and then you sell 112 cards at the price $1.25. Okay, and simply you are asked to maximize the revenue. So what should be the price? So this is very simple. You need to find out the midpoint of the demand curve. And how can you draw the demand curve? So you are given two points. First is 150 comma 1, and second point is you sell 112 cards, so 112 comma 1.25. So you have 2 points. Let's connect the point. Let me change the ratio. Okay. Now you find out the midpoint of this curve. So midpoint of C comma D is here. So when you zoom it, okay, and you right click on this, you can see the price is 0.99. Okay, so this is the answer. So the price is 0.99. Now in the next question, this is the second last question. Okay, we'll stop at question number 28. So in question number 27, you are given the demand relation and the marginal cost of production, and we have done the similar question in the previous video. Okay, so let's do it. So the demand curve is x equals to 120 minus 2y, and marginal cost is $11. So y equals to 11. Okay, now you need to find out the midpoint. Now imagine AB is your new demand curve. So you find out the midpoint of AB, okay, and you drop a line passing through C. Let's find out this point. So the distance CD is the tax, okay. So 24.5 is the tax, okay. So this is the answer. Now in the next question, in the last question, the government leaves $10 per unit tax on the market. The deadweight loss is, so let's say x equals to okay, so let's say this is 15, sorry, not 15, 70. Now you need to measure this length. Also let's change the setting of this line so that this line can move, because we need to adjust it so that the length becomes $10, right? Because in the question it is $10 per unit tax. Let's measure the length of EF, distance E comma F. This is 14 now, so you can move this line a little bit and make it to 10. Okay, so this is almost 10, not exactly, but it's okay. So the deadweight loss is simply the area EFB. Area EF and B. So this is 100.29. Okay, so this is the deadweight loss. Okay, so we have finished up to question number 28, and I do not want to make this video too long, so let's stop here and we'll meet again in the next video. We'll finish the remaining question in the next video. Okay, so thanks so much for watching this video.